Hey, what's up everyone? So in this video, I will show you how to AI generate these really cool 3D models using the new Rodin Gen-2. So let's get into it. So Rodin is an AI platform that can transform any 2D images or text into high quality 3D models, which can be used for your game production or creative project. So in 2025, Rodin's released Gen 2, which feature a handful of new interesting updates. With Gen 2, you can generate up to 4x max qualities, and you can also bang your object into separated parts so you can easily control and animate your models. And it also supports HD textures and the ability to bake your models from high poly to low poly. Alright, so now let me show you how it works. So here I am in the Rodin platform. So the first thing is you can toggle between different models here. So let's make sure that we're using the latest one, which is Gen 2. So now let's click on this big plus button here to upload any images that you want to generate. So here I have a bunch of pictures of a motorbike rider. So basically I have 3 different views of the same objects. This is a side view, and I also have front and the back views. So you can either generate with one image or you can generate with multiple images. So in general, the more reference that you input, the more accurate your 3D model will turn out. So I would use all 3 of these different angles. So now you can simply click generate and wait the magic to happen. And for Gen 2, the generation time will take a little bit longer because it's more advanced, so that's totally fair. So after a few minutes, here we have the first take, which is looking pretty good at the first glance. And you can see that it pretty much captures every details pretty precisely. And on the right panel here, there's a lot of settings that you can play around with. For example, like these are the characteristics of the models that you can turn on and off and see how different results it could be. And the section down here is where you can define the orientation of the models. So we have 3 images. So you can drag these to set the right orientation for each of these images. And when you finish updating these settings, you can click on this redo button to regenerate. So you can regenerate up to 50 times before confirming the 3D models and spend the actual credit on it, which is pretty good because you can have the flexibility to have a lot of options and choose the best out of them. Alright, so now we have this second options based on the updated setting. So you can go to this history tab and check back the previous version and you can compare the two. So I personally think the first version was a little bit better, so let's go with this one. So before confirming these models, you can have the option to bang this 3D model into parts. So when you click here, it will analyze the 3D models and it will automatically break it into parts strategically. So after a few minutes, it will give you this blueprint so you can have a glance of what part is going to be separated. So if you're happy with this, you can click generate. And it will cost you 0.5 credits. And when it's done, it will go boom, and all of this part is being separated, and you can zoom in and inspect a little bit closer. And the cool thing is you can select any of these parts and it will give you the option to bang it even further. Depends on how complex you want the 3D model will be, but for me this is totally enough to carry on. So I'm quite happy with this. So let's click here to confirm the 3D models and spend 0.5 credits. And from here you can have the option to select the mass complexity. And there's also a new feature here which is bake normal. So if you click here, it will bake all of the small detail into the normal map. Then you can have a smoother mesh but still maintaining the good detailed 3D models. Alright, so now let's just click here and confirm. And lastly, it will ask you if this model is symmetrical, which is correct. So let's click yes and wait for it to generate. Alright, so after the generation is done, you can move to the next step, which is to generate the materials. So it would use the 3D reference image that I uploaded and generate the textures. So the more image that you input, the better result it would be. And up here we have these new features where you can select HD material, so it would generate higher resolution textures for your materials. And here we have a bunch of different options that you can play around with, but for me I think just leave it like this and just click generate and wait. Alright, so now we have this material is being generated, And at the first glance it's look okay. I like how the jackets look, and it's looking fine for the bike bodies, but the smaller details like this ABS brake and this top here is a little bit off. But overall I think it's look decent for our purpose. So let's click here to confirm the material, and when it's done you can just pack it up and select the format that you want to download, and make sure to turn these on and select the material resolutions. So I think 2K is fine. So now you can either send it directly to Sketchfab or Blenders, or you can just download it as a zip file. So here's what inside the package. So we have texture diffuse, normal, shaded, and ABS files, roughness, and everything else. So next step, I'm going to demonstrate how the 3D models look like in multiple 3D software. So here we are in Spline. So let's just drag this ABX file into the canvas. So here we have the base 3D models, and you can see on the left panels that all of the layers are being separated, so you can easily control them. So now let's click here to add the textures. So let's select the shaded PNG. And the texture is being applied to the body parts. So let's just save these materials to the library, and then just simply apply it to the rest of the parts. So now we have all of the textures applied to the full 3D models. So with all of the parts that being separated, you can easily turn it on and off and animate them. So I will skip this animation process because I already talked a lot about this from my other tutorials. So this is the final result look like. So overall it's look decent, but it's not perfect. So you can see that the wheels are a little bit jaggy because it's not a perfect circle. But I think you can work around by generating the wheels as an individual objects by using a very good reference images, import into the scene and replace these wheels. So I think the result will be much better. So the last thing I want to show you is how it's gonna work in Cinema 4D. So let's drop it into the scene that I have here. So by default, each part of the 3D models will have its own material, but I want to use one material for all of the parts. So let's remove these and create another material. And click here, go to colors and load this shaded PNG. And then just simply drag the material to all of the parts. And then let's go to the reflection channels and add a layer reflection to it, and go down here for layer color tab. Let's click on textures and select the metallic textures. So now you can see that it will redistribute the reflection parts based on the textures. And let's turn on the normal map and also add the normal texture to this. And maybe reduce the strain to 70%. And lastly, let's turn on this bump channel and load this roughness textures to it. Alright, so now you can click here to render and see how it's going to look like. And this is the final result look like with standard renderers, with nothing too fancy. The overall is looking pretty decent. Alright, so the bottom line is I think the Rodin Gen-2 is way better than the Gen.5, and I enjoy a lot of their updated features, and the quality is significantly improved. But it's not going to give you a perfect 3D models, so you should expect it to be around like 80%, and you still need to work around it a little bit to make it perfect. Depends on what kind of purposes you going to do. I think it's for now is pretty good for gaming, where the assets is not really need that kind of refinements or that small details, but I encourage you to try it out and explore many possibilities that it offers. And especially you can use my promotion code, which is showing right here, to get an additional 14-day free creative plan. So I hope it will give you a kickstart to explore this Rodin journey. So this is the end of my tutorial today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.